T-Dog, J-Boy, and me, I'm Lugs. Our pride and joy is pumping our mugs. Be careful, kids, it could get rough. We're flipping our lids on sports and other stuff.
As seen through the fogged-up lenses of Doug Peterson's readers, this is Sport Weasel Central. I'm Lugs.
I think I'm J-Boy.
And I'm T-Dog.
That's right. This is Sports and Other Stuff and Doug Peterson's show, celebrating our 65th episode. Could you believe that? I can't believe it myself. I feel so young. So here's our show today. College football, the championship is set. The NFL playoffs are set. We'll break those down. And it's Black Monday. The axe has fallen. First topic, did Dabo smack talk about Ohio State come back to bite him? Is Justin Fields out to prove something? Notre Dame, Clemson, thanks for participating. We have lovely prizes for you. But gentlemen, the stage is set for a national championship game. Not many predicted. Ohio State, Alabama.
Yeah, Ohio State, I got to say, I gave them no shot against Clemson. Clemson folded. You know what I noticed in watching that game is Clemson never plays to the middle of the field. They only run stuff outside passes and runs. So I don't know. Trevor Lawrence, can he throw down the middle? Surely he can see. He's 6'6", and he's got a great head of hair.
He does.
If he didn't get one of those shampoo commercials as soon as he signs that pro contract, there really is. He needs to kick his day job. So.
Head and Shoulders, or what do you think? Suave? Prell? Remember Prell?
Head and Shoulders is usually the big one, you know, Troy Polamalu or whatever.
Yeah, that guy
was. Yeah. Polymer.
And it's a polymer
anyway,
wax.
It should be a good game, and I look forward to it. But I got to give Bama because they're just an offensive juggernaut.
All right, go ahead, Dog. What do you say, man?
I think I think Dabo should have kept his mouth shut. I think a big part of it was, if this happened, if you think about it, I'm not saying they're going to win the title. I think Bama will win the game. But here's the thing, and it's a different position. This feels like when Cardale Jones out of nowhere took over in the Big Ten championship and all of a sudden just pushed them all the way to the championship.
That's right.
Now it's with their running back, Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon, because of all the guys missing in passing game, Justin Fields was off in the Big Ten game. They just fed Trey Sermon, and he had 300 yards. And again today, in the game against Clemson, he had 193 yards rushing, a touchdown, 61 yards receiving. That was a big difference. Ohio State outrushed him 254 yards to 44. Travis Etienne was boxed, to be fair to what Lugg said. Like, they did not allow them to really get the run game going. And Justin Fields, I think everyone talking about, how much better Trevor Lawrence is and like how he's going to be the number one pick and how Justin Fields played okay against IU and how he played awful again. I think he took a note, and this was definitely him being like, maybe the Jags should draft me first, as he beat the brains out of Trevor Lawrence in that game.
So can he do it again and take Ohio State all the way?
I will say, I think from a matchup standpoint, they have a shot because I think Trey Sermon is legit at running the ball. And obviously they don't have a wide receiver. Olave is good, but I don't think he's a Devontae Smith. So I think it'll be different. Obviously Justin Fields is better than Mac Jones, though. So I think, and if I will put it this way, if Justin Fields is locked in like he was against Clemson, yes, I think they can beat Bama. I don't know if he can do that against Bama, but yeah, I think it has a shot to be a good game.
Yeah, it should be really a good game. And I'll just say one more thing about Dabo. He needs to loosen that hat up a notch. I think he choked off the oxygen to his brain.
He got a little carotid artery there.
Well, I think they just had too they being Clemson, had too easy of a time against Notre Dame in that ACC championship game, and they thought they were just golden. And Ohio State had plenty of time to plan for them, and they planned for them well.
I will say for Notre Dame, I thought they played Bama better than I thought they would. I mean, I know it's weird to say considering they lost by 17 points, but I think the big thing with Notre Dame is just they have to get a better quarterback. Ian Book is a solid college quarterback. But you look at Mac Jones is a good quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. But you look at the talent level of Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. I'm not going to say they're going to be able to get that guy, but they're going to have to get close to that tier for them to really compete for a title again.
Yeah, they're never quite there.
And I got to give it, Mac Jones, man, he's better than what you would think if you look at his numbers. I mean, he has like a 70% completion rate. Now, it helps that he's got Smith catching the ball. That's true. By the way, how many more Devontaes can we get? Devontae Adams, Devontae Smith. It's like there's another Devontae that I'm forgetting about.
Devontae Luggs,
Parker.
I think. Yeah.
Devontae Parker.
Yep.
Yeah, Devontae Parker, yeah.
So anyway.
Okay, so Ryan Day, Ohio State. That's a good position to be in. Nobody's going to pick them to win this game. Nobody. It's fun.
And I got to say, on that note, Ohio State got two great moments, right? They win that game, and Michigan gives Harbaugh an extension on his contract.
Yes, sir.
He can't beat Ohio State. So on that day, they won twice. It's like, oh yeah, really? Go ahead and hurt us. Extend Harbaugh's contract.
And I just checked Harbaugh off the list as my next Bears coach. I thought I had that one laid out, but that's not going to happen.
Well, I will say this. Would you rather extend Harbaugh, or would you rather be like, hey, Steve Sarkisian, he could turn around Texas?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they could just trade it.
Can he?
And again, I don't hate Steve Sarkisian. I'll just put it this way. I mean, you look at what Herman's background is, like it's a lateral move, I think. To be fair to Texas, I don't know what they do. I don't know. I don't know if there is a guy out there who could be what they want. I mean, I'm not saying Sarkisian's bad. I'm just saying, like, is Herman that much different than Sarkisian? I say no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that Texas job, I mean, think about it. They want their kids, all those oil magnates want their kids to be on that team and play for that team, which you've got to balance between that, the boosters, and still try to win a ball game. And, they aren't the top dogs. I mean, they're close to the top, but they don't dominate like they once did.
Again, I'll just say real quick, and obviously you can say this about a lot of programs. The main thing that killed Herman, and I'm not saying this guy is a great guy, he missed on the quarterback. Ellinger is fine quarterback on college. He's not a great quarterback, and that's what has doomed Texas to being the little brother to Oklahoma in the Big 12.
And to A&M to an extent now.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the NFL. The seeds are set. The matchups are anticipated. I got a lot of questions here. Any upsets in the making? But first, let's take a look back at Week 17. Did the Eagles throw that game? Playing the backup, Nate Sudfeld. Why no Jalen Hurts? A big shout-out to Derrick Henry, though, only the 8th player to rush for 2,000 yards in a season. So, guys, what teams are rolling into the playoffs and what teams are limping in? I think we know a couple of those. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, as far as that Philadelphia game, Doug Peterson should be fired for that decision alone. You don't have a professional team playing, and they're playing well. Even if you've got a bad season like they had, you still want to win ball games. He did not want to win that ball game. I hope he got a vacation home from Washington, or somebody gives him payback for that, because that was a total sucker. That was terrible. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen in sport to do that. I mean, Nate Sudfeld, I appreciate him. He's a nice kid. He's been there 5 or 6 years. You already know what he can do. He ain't going to win you that ball game.
I will say the most revealing thing to me about it. Well, first off, I just want to say Luggs definitely had money on the game. The way it went on about that, he definitely lost some money. That's your fault for putting money on that game.
Quit playing the boat, man. Don't play that stuff.
Yeah, but I'll just say this is I think he did it. I mean, he might be out of the job, and he felt he owed it to Nate Sudfeld. But I also think, even though he's had moments once he took over for Wentz, I think it shows they might be drafting a quarterback. I believe that the 6th overall pick.
So he tossed it for that.
They wanted to evaluate if he is back. I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts is the starter. I don't think Carson Wentz is there, but I don't know if Jalen Hurts is the starter either.
Multiple sources are saying Peterson's not going to be fired. New York Times, CBS Sports, and others.
And I believe if Peterson stays, Wentz has to go. But like I said, I don't think Peterson, if he's staying there, he wants to hitch his wagon to Hurts. I think that's what that move kind of is.
Yeah, he doesn't like Hurts. You can tell it.
I don't say he doesn't like Hurts, but
I don't think he likes him. Honestly,
maybe he doesn't like him either. He just doesn't like quarterbacks, which is not good.
Did you see that sideline stuff with Hurts? He was as far from Peterson as he could get, and he was just standing there.
Yeah.
That kid deserves a better shot somewhere else.
So Luggs, you're reading body language now? You're a body language reading arm crosser
I do. Yeah, I'm doing a whole handwriting analysis and stuff.
You're all
I
over
think
it.
Jalen Hurts will end up at the Oakland Raiders. He can go there and learn.
Writing that down.
From
Jalen Hurts to
Chucky appreciates a guy because Jalen Hurts, no offensive line at all, and he still kept them in that game. He would run when he had to. Hell, he took some shots when he had to.
Well, I just want to end this game by saying
yes.
The main takeaway from this game is Chase Young locked up Defensive Rookie of the Year with a sack, forced a fumble recovery, and 3 QB hits. That's all I want to say.
Agreed.
Move on.
Yep. All right, now take your next one. Go.
Well, let me make one more point when you're talking about Chase Young.
Let me say this.
That is the strongest, youngest 4 defensive linemen I have ever seen. Those guys, that is a powerhouse defense. That's all I'll say about that.
I want to say in the game that actually had, or some of the games that actually had
meaning?
2 teams,
significance,
meaningful instead of one. In a game that obviously mattered for a local team here, the Bills-Dolphins game. I just want to say he's not going to win the MVP, but Josh Allen clearly should get some votes. I think with what he did in just a single half. Isaiah McKenzie had a great game. He had, again, and this is like, if you think about it, this is like their 4th or 5th wide receiver. He had 65 yards, 2 touchdowns, and had a punt return. And again, going back to the Eagles thing, I hate to say this, even though they just drafted this guy, I think the Dolphins might have to look into a quarterback too in the draft.
Exactly.
So I think Tua can be good. I just think that game shows you the next 10 years, you're going to have to see Josh Allen. You're going to have someone who can put up the same firepower as him.
In the same division, right.
Yeah, if Tua's going to take 3 or 4 years, if you can get a Justin Fields, if you can get like a Zach Wilson, because obviously probably Trevor Lawrence is going to be there, you probably have to take him and then maybe trade Tua away to someone else.
So you're saying it's like having Breeze or Brady or Rodgers in your division for years to come.
Yeah, I think it might be. And obviously, I think Tua is going to have a much better career than Josh Rosen. But I feel like a Kyler Murray drafted the very next year, Josh Rosen. I think that situation is in play for the Dolphins. Because you look at Buffalo. Buffalo's not going anywhere for a while. You're going to have to upgrade that position.
Good point. And, I like Buffalo. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a fine team, and they've been built from the ground up with a specific design. It's not just, hey, these guys happen to work well